Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Realizing that not everything's my fault and that um, I can't please and help everybody, that I can only work on myself and I can't fix every situation. Um, I've had a lot of things in my life where I felt like it was my fault and I had to fix it. And the world still goes on, even if that one thing happens and it's not my fault.
Real Talk with Star Scorpio, Season 8. My guest today is a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, and stretch therapist. I got to learn about that. And because I love working out, I had to have her on my podcast to talk about fitness. I admire people who dedicate their life to help people build a healthy lifestyle. We're going to learn about her personal journey today. So, Sarah, welcome to Real Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for coming out on this Thanksgiving Day too, right? In
Yeah,
Canada.
Thanksgiving.
Mhm. So, Sarah, on Real Talk, before we get into the personal training questions and things like that, I like to build a timeline. So, first, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Windsor, Ontario. Uh,
Mm,
Raised in Windsor, Ontario. Haven't left. Had ideas to leave, but I stayed for personal reasons. More so, my parents and my family. I stayed. Uh,
mhm.
but and this is where I've built my foundation. So
Yeah. So, wait, so how old are you though then?
I am 38. I'm
So,
30.
born and raised in Windsor, Ontario, and then is the majority of your family there too, like your extended
Yes,
family as well?
yes. Everybody's here actually.
Oh,
Um, I do have like some aunts and uncles kind of throughout Canada, but majority of my family is here.
where's your, what do you call it? Your lineage? Where's your family from? If you go back.
I am a mutt, actually. My mother is Italian and Irish,
Oh,
full Italian, full Irish.
mhm,
Part of her aunts and uncles came here from Italy.
mhm.
Same with Ireland as well. My father is French, English, and Native Indian. We are Cree Indian. We have a Cree background and a
Yeah.
little bit of Scottish in there, but not enough to just a little drop.
Yes.
But we were Cree Indian, and then his mother and father were English and French.
Wow, there's a mix going on there
Yeah.
too, right? Okay, so Windsor, before I get into school, you're on that border, right? Detroit, Windsor, right?
Yes, yes, I am from where I am right now, where I live, I can get to Detroit within 15 minutes.
Mm. And being so close, did you hop over once in a while to go to the
Yeah.
States to do
Oh,
different
yeah.
things? Oh,
We would do
okay.
shopping, concerts. Concerts are very easy to get to.
Mhm.
Um, when I was a kid, we used to go grocery shopping over there because the dollar was at par and it was a lot better then.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like it was very easy to get to and from
Mm.
because we're a border city. So
Yeah, 15 minutes. So for us, our border, we got the Buffalo, but Niagara. It takes us like a good hour and a half on a no traffic day to get there.
oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
We have the bridge and we have the tunnel. So I'm right near the tunnel.
yeah, you know what? When I went to Detroit a while ago to visit my friend, I
Mhm.
think I know what you're talking about. We went through this tunnel
Yep.
to get there, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very easy.
very easy.
Very easy.
Okay, now school days. I always like to learn about the school days. So high school, what did you excel in and what did you enjoy in high school?
I loved English and drama.
Mm,
I loved stories and storytelling and um I just it really appealed to me.
mhm.
And you can be consumed and entwined with different stories when you were in English and drama. Um I I wasn't a huge fan of high school, to be honest. I mean, I excelled pretty well. I was top of my class. I did really, really good with my grades. I studied a lot. I also
Mhm.
loved psychology. I
Oh,
took those courses,
mhm.
psychology, and I loved law as well.
Hmm.
But I didn't enjoy the whole concept of high school. I had friends in different groups, but I just hated how, I mean, my age group, we're talking, 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
Very cliquey, very, you had your mean girls, you had your jocks, and it was just, there was so much separation, and I hated that.
Hmm.
And, but I mean, when it comes to actual academics, I was good, and I enjoyed English and drama. Those are probably my favorites. Law because I like to argue, and psychology because
Oh,
and
wait,
psychology.
wait, wait, wait. I told you something before we started the podcast. I hurt my back, as you know, right? And
Mhm.
I notice when I laugh, it still hurts. So just take it easy on the jokes, right? So, oh man, that hurt. You like to argue.
And psychology, the human brain just fascinates me.
Oh,
I actually took psychology for a little bit outside of high school, so
yeah. Yo, you said something interesting there. So two things. Um, High school for me too. I didn't enjoy high school. I was pretty popular in high school because I could jump. Our junior high went up to grade 9 actually, and
okay.
most high schools started in grade 9.
Yep.
So when I started Victoria Park, we were like fish out of water. Like everyone already knew each other. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So when I started in grade 10, I was so uncomfortable, but I had my clique and I had my older brother
Yeah.
and the friends that I knew in the neighborhood. So, it took me a while to assimilate to what's going on.
Mhm.
But one thing that I noticed too was the cliques. Even though we were cool with everybody, I noticed they had their doors. I don't know if you had the doors. We had the rocker doors, like the hip hop doors and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And the Greeks had their crew with the Italians. But, everyone got along. But I noticed a separation though. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And one thing I did enjoy though is drama like you.
Mhm.
And one thing I want to ask you about high school, though, sometimes you take courses and people say, I don't know how I'm going to use this later in life.
Mhm.
But I notice I'm 49, man. And I'm like, I know that some things I learned in high school
Oh
did
yeah.
help me out, even as small as it was.
Yeah.
Can you relate to that too?
Oh yeah. So stage fright. I studied vocal for 10 years. I was a
Oh,
singer,
oh,
and
really?
yeah. And I to this day still have terrible, terrible stage fright. But being on stage in drama helped me communicate better with individuals of different backgrounds. It allowed me to put my opinions, my feelings, my fear aside and just talk to people. And it helps a lot with what I do now because I'm not afraid to just, here I am. This is my door. I have an open door. This is me. This is what you see is what you get.
Mhm.
And when you're on stage, that's what you have to do. You have to follow the lines. This is you. This is what you got to do. And um, it allowed me to be more open and more open-minded.
Mhm.
And I really enjoyed that part of what it taught me. Um, it was it was definitely a learning curve. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did take that with me.
Yeah. Yo, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And you did touch on psychology too. I
Oh yeah.
really enjoy psychology, but we didn't have that offered in high school. I took psychology in college and I really love learning how the mind works
Mhm.
and all the different terms that you can place on something where you're like, why is this person acting like that? Or what does this mean? And then you learn the terminology and like, oh, you can actually define it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really like that.
Um, we had psychology, anthropology, and sociology in my high school, and um, I loved abnormal psychology. So like
Okay.
schizophrenia and bipolar, and how that works in the brain and what happens to the person and how it breaks down. And yeah, I it's just fascinating. It's
Okay.
so fascinating.
So before I need to ask you a question about working out too in high school before we get into your personal training stuff. But now that you say that, did you go to post-secondary? Were you interested in this line of work for a career though? Like what direction did you think you were going after
God.
high school?
So after high school, so I'd been in fitness or enjoyed fitness since I was about 15.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Hmm.
even though, so there's like a backstory as well, but we'll get into that in 2 minutes. I actually wanted to be a child psychologist when I was
Okay.
younger,
Hmm.
and I wanted to help children and help understand their mind, and so that they could have a better future. And kids are so uh, it's hard for them to regulate their emotions, and it's hard to figure out what's really wrong.
Hmm.
Um, and I wanted to help them. Well, I took my first couple psychology courses, enjoyed it, and realized that I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be that person to, a child's coming to me and talking to me, and though it's in confidence, my issues are because I'm having something happen at home,
Mm.
and I'm the type of person that, okay, you sit here, I'm going to not, they'll obviously be professional, but I wouldn't be able to take that professionalism out. Like I would have to, I'd want to hurt the parent
Yeah.
or the person,
Yeah.
um, wear their voice. And it was too hard for me. I
Mm.
don't, not the academics aspect, but emotionally, it was too hard for me. And you'd have to desensitize yourself, and you'd have to become this cold, not that they are, but you just have to desensitize yourself from what they're saying sometimes. And I couldn't be that person.
Yeah.
And then after that, I went to school, became a certified chef. I am a certified chef as well.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Singer, chef. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then did a few things outside of there.
Mm.
And then I studied, I wrote my exams and became a personal trainer, a nutritionist, and
Mm.
stretch therapist, also healthy eating weight loss coach. And yeah, here we are today. So
Wow.
it's been a progress from one aspect, but each course I've ever taken, each aspect of education that I've ever delved into
Mm.
has made me the person I am today and made me adapt to different scenarios and different people and different personalities. So it wasn't forgotten. It wasn't, I didn't let it go. I just, um, those courses, those things that I took has helped me to where I am today. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
building that foundation and building on something bigger.
yeah.
It all helps to formulate whatever your direction goes in life or where you want to go in life. So you did touch on something there that I just want to talk about quick, because there are some professions out there that I know I couldn't do either. And you're like saying the psychologist, right?
Mhm.
And for me, like policing, fire, EMS, anything to do with emotions, because it seems like you have to check your emotions.
Yeah.
And I already know I can't do that because I'm an emotional person like that.
Mhm.
Take things to heart, and it's hard for me to
Yeah.
even cope if I hear things. So I think I know what you're talking about. That'd be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't want to become a cold person.
Mhm.
And I, and I'm not saying that, I mean, they're impeccable at what they do. There are some amazing psychologists and psychiatrists out there, and they've clearly helped a number of people, and that's amazing.
Mhm.
I couldn't do it. I
Mhm.
couldn't just cut myself off, walk through the door and be a different person and cut myself off. I again, like you, I'm a highly emotional person. I'm driven by my emotions, and I find what I'm doing now is better for me than doing that. So
Yeah, it's like, if you ever have you ever taken one of those I forgot what you call them, man, but it's like it tells you what career path you should
yeah,
be on.
those
You know what
are
I'm saying? Those
yeah,
multiple choice, and then it says these are the industries or careers that fit your personality. It's like a
yeah,
personality test, kind of, right?
yep,
So I don't know if you've taken it and it was like me, everything was like something about helping people. You know what I
yep.
mean? All of my things. So you too, right?
Yeah, a lot of it was customer service, which essentially is helping people.
Hmm.
That's what I do with customer service. I'm there. I advocate for my clients and I advocate for the people that are around me. So
Hmm.
that is essentially customer service. So
Right.
yeah,
Yes. Okay. Now working out. So, um, this is something we have in common, but I don't know it happened to you too. Like I started working out young, like 16 probably in high school, but I always worked out for a year or a year and a half, and then I stopped.
Mhm.
Like hardcore working out, like gym,
Yeah.
doing your thing, and then you stop, and then it's just basic things you do. But then I go at it again, and that's how it's been throughout my life.
Mhm.
But when you choose a career that you have chosen, it seems like you would keep it up
Yeah.
because you're representing yourself, your clients, and all that.
Yeah.
But did you go through that struggle too, where it's like hard to stay in shape and keep that going?
Well, so that's kind of like it's a long answer. So like I
Mhm.
said, I started in fitness when I was 15. I did it back and forth for quite some time, but I was anorexic. I was anorexic from the time I was 12 to the time I was 18 when they finally said I was an in and out patient. And I had to talk to psychologists. I had to talk to a dietitian. I got
Mhm.
really, really sick. I was 100 pounds. I'm 5'8", so do the math. Uh, it was a hard time. So, but I worked out. Um, but my relationship with food and my relationship with myself
Mhm.
um, changed over the years. And that's more of that answer than just working out. Um, I today
Mhm.
work out 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm happy with that. There have been instances where I overtrained, which is a
Yeah.
big thing.
Mhm.
It is, and especially if you're someone in fitness, it can happen. Overtraining is something that can happen to anybody.
Mhm.
And overtraining, essentially, you're no longer able to lift the weights you were lifting. You can't progress. You're tired all the time. You're not hungry. There's this whole psychological and like physiological aspect to overtraining. I've burnt out a couple times.
Yeah.
Um, but the stop and go doesn't deteriorate your progress. The stop and go allows you to see yourself and to see what works for you and to adapt to new things and to new changes. And sometimes when you stop, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
And then starting back up again. The thing is, there's no, not problem, sorry. The benefits to that is that you are still progressing, even
Mhm.
if you stop. So
Yeah.
if you worked out for a year and you stopped for 4 months and you go back to it, those 4 months, okay, so you go back to it.
Mhm.
It's still benefiting yourself. Um, and I think that that's a big thing that gets thrown around in the fitness industry, that you need to keep going. You have to go hard. You have to keep going. You have to go hard.
Mhm.
There's a mental aspect to fitness and nutrition, and
Mhm.
people forget that. So
Yeah.
um, I don't necessarily stop now. Like, I mean, I do take my breaks like I'm supposed to, because as I've learned in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
um, it's important to stop,
Mhm.
to rest,
Mhm.
and to rest your mind and to rest your body. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah.
Yeah. I get it. It's all part of it. And I actually seen a post of yours, and I think it was about you're talking about in totality.
Mhm.
But I seen a post where it's like you said something about in the day, it's just working out that day. It's good. Like, don't punish yourself.
Mhm.
If you're supposed to
Yeah.
work out that day and you don't, you need that break. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I
It's
was,
important to take breaks. And, you know, there's been so much change in fitness, especially since, and you and I grew up in the age where there was no social media.
mhm,
Social media had just started when I was in my 20s, and it's progressed to this huge, huge part of our lives. Um, and the fitness industry has grown substantially. It's a great thing when it comes to being able to promote fitness and nutrition, but it
mhm,
can also be a detriment, because there's all these people promoting that, like, you got to keep doing it this way, and this is how it has to be done, and this is how you have to work out. You don't.
right.
Punishing ourselves because we didn't work out for one day is not going to deter you from your progress. Sometimes we need to take that break. Sometimes we need that mental deload for the day. And working out becomes a mental load, because this is the weight I have to lift. This is the movement I have to do. This is how many reps I have to do. These are how many sets I have to do. That's like a mental load in itself.
Yeah.
Um, for some people,
Mhm,
I mean, working out is my stress reliever. It's my getaway. But that's for me. That's not for everybody else.
right.
So.
Oh, well said. Well said, Sarah. Thanks for sharing this. It seems like you have a lot of knowledge to drop on people. And I guess this is part of your business, which I want to get into now. So tell everyone the name of your, because you have a studio, right?
Yep, I have a
Yeah.
private
So
studio.
private studio. Tell everyone about the name of your studio because it's on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Um and how it all started. Can you just tell me that from the
Yeah.
beginning?
So my studio is called Velvet Hammer Personal Training. Um, Velvet Hammer, when I was growing up, my mother and my nana, my mom's mom, always used to say you need to live life with a velvet hammer. So it means you need to be strong, but you can be soft as well.
Mhm.
You can hit with, you can hit it hard, but you have a little bit of grace when you do it. Um, and I opened my business in 2020, yay, in a pandemic.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. And it's been growing. I mean, it's hard because, big gyms and that are the focus for a lot of people, but going to a big gym's quite intimidating for a lot. So I have that ability for people to be more vulnerable. It's just one-on-one. It's just us. We do our workouts, we talk, we go over nutrition, we have a good time doing it, and then they go about their way. And I enjoy my studio. I think it's actually right on my property. We built it right on my property.
Oh, for
Um,
real. Hmm.
yeah, it's we had a detached garage. We gutted it, and it's a full studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, it's it's been going really, really good. It's been growing, and I've got to meet some amazing people. I have amazing clients. I've had heartbreaks when people have had to leave me. Of course, I would love people to stay with me forever, but
Mm.
um, I love that I do what I do so that they can go about their day and go into the world and be able to say, hey, I can go into the gym now. I know what I'm doing. I mainly focus on not just weight training, but fitness training. Mobility training, so range of motion, functional movements. Um, we do a lot of proper form.
Mhm.
Form is number one when it comes to working out properly.
Yeah, I see some of your
Um,
posts the
yeah,
wrong way and the right way.
you'll be surprised how many people walk and say, "Yeah, I've worked out for several years," and they do one thing and it's not right.
Yeah.
um, but not just that, but proper form in like the proper stance and how to do it and proper breathing,
Mm.
stuff like that's important. So I focus on that first. A lot of my clients usually say I'm the nice Sarah,
Yeah.
and then at first, and then 6 to 8 weeks later, I'm the mean Sarah. So
Yo, tell me something. Oh, so you know what? You answered so many questions that I had, because I want to know what location it is and how was the development of the studio. But now you just answered that perfectly.
yeah.
But I want to know something.
Mhm.
How do you know when someone's really ready to make that change in their life? Because I tried that personal training thing, but I realized it's not for me because I feel like you have to do it properly. So
Mhm.
you are certified in nutrition, personal
Mhm.
training, and stretch therapy, which I want to ask more about.
Mhm.
But I'm like, nah, I can't do this because I was really more about just the working out part, which I've helped friends lose weight. But the nutrition part wasn't there. And I'm like, I can't do this for a living because I have to go through what it takes to be a proper, you know what I mean? But I've had people come to me that said they were ready to lose weight and get into shape. And then I can just after a few, I was realizing I know who really wants it and who's just saying this for whatever reason. But can you tell when someone's ready to change their life in that respect?
Yes, and no.
Mm.
Um, so the no part comes from they make the decision no matter what. At
Okay.
the end of the day, it is 50-50. I am 50% of your journey. I'm 100% there, but your journey has to come from you saying, I need to do this. And there's a whole thought process. There's a whole thought process wheel that you have to go through. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not ready. I'm
Mm.
thinking about it. I'm ready to talk to somebody. I'm thinking about it and I'm going to do this. And then you can go back to, I'm not ready. There's a whole wheel of thought that goes along. But when someone walks through my door, it's usually in their body language. And I've been fortunate enough in the jobs that I've had that I've been able to learn to read people.
Mhm.
A lot of people are intimidated when it comes to fitness and nutrition. A lot. It's vulnerable. You are expressing your true vulnerability. You were saying, take my body, take my mindset, and help me do better.
Mhm.
And people who walk through the door, their shoulders are in, and like that's fascia. That's your fascia saying, I'm intimidated, I'm scared. Um, Usually aren't the people that are fully ready. They're the ones that are just coming in to get basic information, and then they will make the decision later.
Mhm.
The people that walk through my door that are like loud and proud and happy and laughing, those are the people that I know are ready.
Mhm.
Those are the people I know that are sitting down with me and actually being themselves. I mean, I won't bite. I'm not a mean person by any means, but
Hey, take it easy. Sure, take
but
it easy.
at the end of the day, they are willing to give me the information I need so I can build your program, so that
Mhm.
I can be the best I can be for you. So it's it's a 50-50 when it comes to me knowing and not knowing.
Mhm.
Um, I do know when they walk through the door. It's in their mannerisms and it's in their way they walk and how they carry themselves that I know that this person wants to do this, or this person is just here to get information, is just not ready.
Yeah.
Um, and that's okay. I mean, there are so many people out there that have the mindset that, yeah, I want to work out, but they're just not ready.
Mhm.
And no one says that this journey has to start right today. This journey can start in a month. This journey can start in a year.
Mhm.
It's your journey. It's your journey. So yeah,
Makes
that's
so much sense.
usually, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of ties into what you were saying before, what we were discussing about taking that break too,
Mhm,
because you can say that in any point of your journey. So
mhm,
getting started, you got to get your mind right and everything right when you want to really start. So that could be like you said, in a
mhm,
month, in a year. It's just like when you're working out, when you need to take that break, you have
mhm,
to take that break for a reason. And I can't explain that in one, but I get what you're saying, and that makes so much sense. You know what I mean?
mhm.
No, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is about actually seeing that transformation in someone. How does that make you feel? Because I know that feeling too, making that transformation in someone's life.
Mhm.
How does that make you feel when you actually see the end result? Because you were saying, I think in the beginning, like some people leave you for whatever reason it is, but you've probably helped someone in that beginning stages where in their mind, they're like, I don't know if I can do this, but you know that they can do it
Yeah.
because you're going to help them do it. How does
Yeah.
that make you feel when you get?
I'm proud. I mean,
Mhm.
I think that the first word that pops in my mind is proud. Um, that's hard work. It is really hard. It's your sweat, blood, and tears. I mean, not literal blood, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's your time, it's your dedication, it's all those conversations, and finally it just clicks for them. And um it it makes my heart full. It
Mhm.
lets me know that I was able to reach somebody, even if it's that one person, and then that one person goes and takes what I taught them and teaches somebody else. And
Uh,
that person teaches somebody else. That's my work going from point A to point Z.
yeah.
And um I feel very proud and honored. And um it's the achievement of, I really did this. This is what I went to school for.
Mhm.
This is what I studied. And it does mean something to someone. It does matter to someone, and I matter to someone.
Mhm.
And my encouragement and my dedication to them made them be a better version of themselves.
Mhm.
And I can say that I molded that, and it makes me undoubtedly happy. And um, sad too, because that means they're leaving me, but
Yeah.
but it's I have a sense of pride in that aspect, and I can say that I have that pride. I mean, I'm not a proudful person, but I feel that sense of pride knowing that they were able to achieve that, and they were able to get to that point, and that they are happy.
Mhm.
Because making people makes me happy. Making people happy makes me
It
happy,
makes
sorry.
you happy. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's so true, because me being older, I look at things so different now, right? That's why I do the donations too, because I feel like I want to give back to charities to help people out. I want to have people on my podcast to share their stories, which I'm doing with you today. But I start thinking deeper too. And you just mentioned that because sometimes if I help people out, whether it be if it was working out or just if they had an issue in their life and I gave them advice, I'm only thinking, yeah, I helped in that situation, but you don't know the result of that, how they're treating other people and what it did for them in school and work. They're not missing any more days anymore because they're not taking sick day. Like so many things that pivot point where you played a factor in their life.
Mhm.
So I like how you worded that because it's so true.
Like a smile goes a long way. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My wife actually said that the other day. She said she just yesterday, I believe, she was in the store and this guy in a wheelchair, um, they were in the same area, and then she smiled at him, and he actually rolled back and said thank you for that. And
mhm.
he said he was a nurse and he injured his spine, and he said your smile just made my day. And something he said about keeping going. And it's like you don't know the impact you have on people's
Yeah,
lives. It's amazing. And
yeah,
that's why you chose this profession too.
yeah.
One thing I want to ask you about though, stretch therapy. I've
Mhm.
never heard that before. Can you just tell me
Um,
about that?
so a lot of people don't know how to stretch properly. Um,
Oh,
stretching is important. It is important. I mean, it's not the be all and end all, but it is very, very important. Um, and I thought that it'd be something I could add to my clients' workout.
mm,
Um, and I took it through Stretched Academy. They're an American-based company,
mhm,
and it was it was more so being able to manipulate the muscle in a way that allows to get a full stretch and a full lengthening of the muscle so that it can heal properly. Um, it's static stretching, so there's no movement in it, but I manipulate the muscle in the body and in a way that allows them to have a good stretch after their workout, and it's benefited them. I've had quite a few clients that say, "I'm not as sore." I'm like, "Oh, I wonder why."
yeah. Oh, damn, like, oh, Sarah, you're killing me.
I'm not trying.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. Is it important to stretch before and after, like always, before you work out and after you stretch out, or what's more important, the after?
Um, it depends on the person. Dynamic stretching is movement stretching, so it's basically mobility and functional movement prior to your workout,
Mm,
um, which is good because it gets the muscles moving, it gets oxygen into your muscles, some blood flowing. Um, Static stretching after your workout is good,
mm,
um, because it helps elongate the muscles and relaxes the muscle. Uh, I would say it's beneficial to do both, but if you're someone that can't get to doing dynamic stretches prior to your workout, if you have a hard time just time,
mhm,
it's better to do at least the static afterwards just to get those muscles like relaxed and moving so that they're not so tight, and it allows you to go about your day.
mhm,
You have to remember that when you're working out, you're contracting a muscle, and the myofascium is moving in a way that we don't do that. I mean, we squat because we get up and down off of a chair, but do you really load your squats? Like when you're at work getting up and down, do you do that? No, but you're loading it. So you have to remember that that contraction is loaded. The same with your biceps or your chest or whatever muscle you're choosing to work out that day.
mhm,
Um, they are now loaded, contracted movements.
mhm.
And you have to remember after that amount of time, they can end up being injured if you don't give yourself that little bit of stretch because you need to elongate them, you need to relax them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's definitely beneficial to do both, but if you can't get to the dynamic, the static is a lot better after the workout.
Mhm. Thanks for sharing that. That's going to help me out now in
Mhm.
my workout. And I kind of like laughed at that because I'm known for not stretching, and that's why I have so many injuries in my life. And it's getting worse with my age too, which is one thing that you're probably trained for and you learned because working out and nutrition, I believe should be different if you're 20 or if you're 50 or in between,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Our bodies naturally age, of course.
Mhm.
Our metabolisms change, our muscles change. Our body changes after a certain period of time. And as we age, the ability to manipulate our muscles, the ability to use our muscles changes within a 10% every year, like
Mm.
after the age of 30, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so I can't train a 20-year-old like I would some of my 50 or 60-year-olds.
Right.
Um, they can't lift as heavy right away. They can't just get up and go off the ground. Some of them can't do, loaded squats or back squats because it's compressive.
Mhm.
Some of them were runners before and they can't run now because they have injury. And after, injury, your body changes and it heals differently. Um, it's important to understand your demographic and who you're working with. And that's why when I do a health history with a lot of my clients and I go over everything with them and I talk to them. I want to know if you were injured when you were 6 years old. Did you break your ankle when you were six? Like that will progress to some
Wow.
of the
Yeah.
things we're probably doing now because it healed differently, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it's important to understand that not everybody's the same. I don't create a program. I just don't pick from the sky and give Susie the same thing I'm giving John. You
Mhm.
know, I'm it's based off of you and you, the individual. So if you're 20 years old, I know that these are the things you can do. If you're 50 years old, based off of your history, because you've also lived a lot longer than this 20-year-old, I know what you can do. I know what I can push you to do.
Mhm.
And it's good to understand like the age and the change and what happens to our bodies, not just physically, but physiologically as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yo, you're schooling me. I'm in session right now. I'm glad you're sharing this information. This is a great podcast. And this is the time where I'm going to ask you the would you rather question, Sarah.
Okay.
Let me know. Would you rather visit your younger self and give them advice for the future, or would you rather visit your older self and have them give you advice for what's going on right now?
I would have to say my older self because my younger self molded me into the person I am today.
Amazing, amazing. Some of the answers I get for that is like it's always different,
Mhm.
and that was a different one, and it made so much sense. Okay, no matter whether my guest chose their younger or older self, this question is about your younger self. There's four things I'm going to ask.
Mhm.
What would you tell your younger self about money?
Mm. Um, it's not the be all and end all of life. Yes, it helps cover the bills, but that um, money doesn't make who you are. It doesn't dictate who you are. It doesn't dictate um, the the hard work that you've done. Money is one aspect of life. It doesn't make things harder, of course it does, but it's it doesn't mold you. It doesn't define you.
Mm, so true, so true. What would you tell your younger self about friends?
They come and go. There are some people that are with you for a very long time, and there are some people that are with you for a very short time. No matter that time frame, they have taught you something about yourself. They've taught you something about the world around you, and they've made you who you are, regardless if you don't see that now.
Oh, you're on fire. There's no wrong or right answer for this, but I'm digging this. Okay, what would you Sarah, Sarah, you should have your own podcast. Sarah, what would you tell your younger self about family?
Family doesn't end in blood.
Phew, I've heard that many times.
Yeah.
Mm.
Family's important, um, but they don't make or break you. You are your own individual. You have your own thoughts. You have your own feelings. Whether they feel that way or not does not make you you. You make yourself you. Um, I love my family. I'm a family person, but I've had a lot of stuff happen in my family, and I've been allowed to, growing up, choose my family. I have some amazing friends in my life, um, who I love and adore, that I call my family. But it it doesn't have to just be your mother, your father, your aunts and uncles. Family is who you tell yourself family is, um, but it doesn't dictate who you are.
Mhm. So true. Thanks for sharing that. One more. What would you tell your younger self about love?
Get your heart broken.
Hmm.
Um, Love is in the eye of the beholder, and love isn't just a feeling. It's um, it's in the sunshine. It makes the sun brighter. It's in the smell of the flowers. It makes the smells prettier. Um, Love makes you a better person, and love makes you a better version of yourself. And love doesn't come from a person or thing or place, it comes from within.
Bam. Jeez. Thanks for that, Sarah. That's it. You got through those questions.
Huh.
Now, the last thing I want to ask you is about social media.
Mhm.
So you started in the pandemic, which I don't know if you just want to touch on that before I ask this main question, because it was kind of challenging to do things in the pandemic when it came to rules and everything, and opening um your location
Mhm.
probably presented some challenges.
Yeah.
But the social media aspect, I see you do a lot of your marketing too on
Mhm.
IG. I don't even know if you're on any other platforms, but
I am I'm on Facebook as well. Yeah.
you're on Facebook too, right?
Mhm.
So let me know that that part of it. Do you enjoy doing the marketing and promotion aspect of it? And did you have any challenges opening during COVID?
Um, I hate promoting myself. Uh, I mean that with the most sincerity. I know that I have to promote myself in order to grow my business, and I understand that, but like, it's so intimidating and it's
Mm,
so like so awkward.
yes.
When I go on Instagram, or I do my little videos about stuff, it's more so because like those are things that have happened to me. Those are things that have like occurred to me, and those are things that like have happened to a client. I want people to know that like I'm a real person, and I'm not just telling you this just to sell myself.
Mm,
Um, and it is challenging, because there's so much out there. There's
yeah.
so much out there, and there's like,
Mm,
and I know I don't look like a typical, personal trainer. I don't. There's a mold that people think you have to look like,
mhm.
um, and sometimes that's challenging. And I I would say intimidating is the best word I could use. I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like it so that I get to meet new people, I guess. But I don't like having to do it. It's not my most favorite part of my job. But
Yeah.
during the pandemic, it was quite challenging. There were rules and regulations, like I had to stand a certain way, I had to stand further away, and the bonus about me is that I'm completely private. I am not on commercial property,
Okay. Yeah.
so I had a little bit more leeway with that.
Mhm.
But the mask mandates and all of that, it was quite challenging to be able to train one with a mask. You really shouldn't. It's hard to breathe.
Yeah. Mhm.
um, but I worked through it. I maneuvered through it. Got to the point where we could be fully open, and I I don't want to have to do that again.
Yeah.
Uh, but I was very fortunate enough that a lot of my clients were understanding, and were were either willing to do it via Zoom or FaceTime, um, or when we could have people here, they were okay with coming back. And again, a lot of people like that I'm private, so they don't have to deal with other people. It's just them. And after every client, I fog and like fogging, I do a disinfect.
Oh, okay. I seen that post.
Yeah.
You did a post like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like I disinfect after every client and I clean after, and people appreciate that more so than going to a big gym. So, but I mean, navigating through it was hard. I mean, this is the first time I've ever experienced that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So, I got through it, but it was hard.
Yeah. But all those things make you stronger, and
Yeah.
it's another milestone. So I'm proud of you for that. That's amazing, Sarah. Um, before we do the real talk choice, I want you to let people know where they can find you, and also if you want to share your gym location, the
Yeah.
location of the spot too. Go ahead, and plug that.
Yeah. So, Velvet Hammer Personal Training, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. I'm in Windsor, Ontario. My address is 503 Jeanette. Your best option is to either message me through one of those platforms, either Instagram or Facebook, and we can set up a consultation. Consultations are free. It just gives me an opportunity to learn about the person and learn about what they've been through and their health history, which is very, very important. And you get to meet me. So I'm the face of Velvet Hammers. Most people think my name is Velvet, but no, my name is Sarah.
Back, my back. All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing that. Before I ask these questions, the last thing I'm going to ask you is success stories. Do you share success stories of
Oh,
others, or people like,
yeah,
can
yeah.
I plug anything for you because you helped me so much?
Yeah, I have some success stories. A lot of people, it's again a vulnerability.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate enough. Like my sister, I helped her lose 80 pounds.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um, and it's not just that, she learned how to like strength train. She had never worked out in a gym, like in a conventional gym before and lifting weights. And we had a great time, like her just learning what proper movement was. And that in itself is a success story. I've had people, not just the physical aspect, but the physiological, like their mindset that they
yeah.
never worked out before and that I changed their view of training.
Mm,
Um, I've had clients lose quite a bit of weight. I've had clients be able to lift things again, um, be more mobile again. Like those are success stories to me as well. It's not just about, oh, I lost 20 pounds. Yay, way to go. It's, oh my God, I can lift 20 pounds over my head. I haven't been able to do that since I was a kid. Or I can get up off the ground without huffing and puffing. That's amazing,
mhm,
or going up the stairs and or chasing after my grandkids or going for walks without being out of breath. Like that is in itself a good way to look at achievement.
mhm,
Achievement just doesn't come from the physical aspect.
mhm.
So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Again, it translates to your life. These
Mhm.
little changes you make for yourself, it translates everywhere down, friends, work, everything. You know what? I want to ask you these questions too, right? I forgot to ask this. What is your favorite now for you? What is your favorite body part to work out?
Oh, it's a toss up.
Mm.
Legs or shoulders. I
Oh, okay.
I love shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you
Legs because
because
legs.
sorry.
Legs because they're legs.
Yeah.
I like looking strong. I like having strong legs.
You said the do you find that like women love to work out their legs? You know that whole you can't skip leg day. You have to work legs. You have to work your whole body. But you said the two that I despise the most, and that's where my weakest. My tricep was always the one that I liked, but the shoulders I hate, and I have what do you call it? Tendonitis in my shoulders. Had it for years, right? So
Yeah.
I hate working on shoulders. And my legs, I always hated working on legs, but it's things you have to do.
Mhm.
But you enjoy that. Nice.
Yeah.
Shoulders, legs. Um, Free weights or machine weights?
Both. I
Depends what
can't.
exercise or
It depends on the exercise. I
Mhm.
like free weights for, like the smaller muscle groups. Again, your biceps, triceps, shoulders.
Yeah.
But I enjoy quite a few machines. Like the leg press is probably my
Oh,
favorite. I love the leg press. I can't do back squats. I hurt my lower lumbar years ago.
Yeah.
So it's very compressive on my lower lumbar,
Hmm.
but it's a different way. Like I can push with my legs as
Yeah.
opposed to like having the weight on my back. Um, and then like cables are amazing too. Like they're
Oh,
such an unstable, cables are an unstable activity
yeah.
that
Hmm.
you have to stabilize with your body. So like it works you in a different way. It's really hard to make that decision because
Hmm.
like there's benefits to both machines and to free weights.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. Should have known. Do you believe in cheat days?
No, there's no such thing as a cheat day.
Th-
If you want to have a cupcake on a Monday, eat the cupcake, child. Like
Yeah.
eat it, enjoy it, and then move on.
Yes.
If you want to have a pizza with your friends at a birthday party, or you're going out with your friends on a Saturday, why are you going to save all your calories for one day?
Hmm.
One day is you could hurt yourself more in one day than you could by enjoying a couple slices of pizza on a Friday night with your friends.
Yeah.
Enjoy life. Life isn't just about, you know, broccoli, chicken, and rice. It's enjoy the food. Obviously, do it in like limited amounts if you're trying to achieve a goal,
Hmm.
and like watch yourself. But the holidays are coming. We just
Hmm.
had Thanksgiving. Like we're in Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like enjoy the piece of pumpkin pie and move on.
Yeah.
Go back to what you're supposed to do the next day. Like obviously don't have Monday to Saturday a cheat day, or cheats, but
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like there's no reason why you can't have a scoop of ice cream every night and put it into your calories for the day or your
Yeah.
macros for the day. There's no reason why you can't have um what I love cupcakes. So
Okay.
have a cupcake, you know, for a day or enjoy it. Like I have a son and we'll sometimes have ice cream together.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think cheat days you need to get away from the idea of cheat days and
Hmm.
just enjoy something with your friends or family or for yourself.
I'm glad you said that. Is that one of the misconceptions though? Like, you know how there's a lot of labels out there for things that we grew up with, right? And then
Oh,
that's why I asked it. And now that you said that, I've heard that too. I don't deny yourself and stuff. But that term, I wonder if that should be washed from the whole industry. You know what I mean? It should,
I
right?
mean,
Yeah.
when I first started out in the industry, yeah, cheat day was a big thing. But as like, like again, fitness and nutrition is always evolving. Like
Mhm.
my mindset's changed and grown. And um, I've learned to appreciate food and appreciate my behavior towards it. And I mean, that took many, many years. Like being anorexic and going in that background, like it took many years to be able to say, I enjoy this. I'm going to eat this and I'm not going to harm myself for it. And um, life is about the little things. Like,
Mhm.
so you had a chocolate bar. Okay.
Yeah.
You can burn that chocolate bar off in 7 hours, just
Yeah.
doing nothing. Like you don't have to punish yourself. You don't have to be mad at yourself. You don't have to be angry at yourself because you enjoyed something.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, there's foods that can contribute to poor health, but I mean, it takes eating those in copious amounts to get to that point. And you'd have to eat an overabundance of food to really see a change in your body. What you're going to experience more than anything is inflammation and water retention.
Mhm.
To gain a pound of fat for a lot of people, and a lot of people out there worry about the weight gain from eating certain things, you have to eat 3,500 calories above and beyond your daily intake of maintenance. So if your maintenance is 2,000 calories, you have to eat 5,500 calories to gain a pound of fat. Like you're not going to gain that in eating a cupcake for a day.
Yeah. Yo,
So
I'm glad you broke this down. I'm enjoying this conversation. Near the tail end, you're just dropping facts and knowledge. And I feel like you're great to your clients in the way that you probably break, I don't know if the term is stereotypes, because you said a couple things here that's making me think when people see you, maybe they have this thing in their mind about working out as a chore. And I feel like you educate them to say it's not a chore, it's something you're going to end up enjoying. And the food part, some people hear from the internet because now it's just oversaturated with people about And I've heard it too when I was younger, the cheat day thing and watch your this and watch your that. You don't have to be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people come to see you, they feel more relieved and now they're ready to go.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an open book. You can ask me questions, I will tell you the answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer. Um, like and nutrition is the hardest part of any fitness journey.
Mhm.
It is the hardest because we have all these misconceptions, and grew up in a diet culture, and we grew up with so many different things that you have to do, and different I mean, there's diet programs that tell you can lose 40 pounds in 40 days. There's drugs out there that you can take now. There's different doctors that tell you one thing or the other. At the end of the day, it's a journey. It's not meant to be this black. It's not black and white, and
Mhm.
you can't take it that way. And people need to understand that it's okay to fall off the journey once in a while. It's okay to not understand what you're supposed to do. And that's why I'm here. I educate. I want people to know that it's okay to live your life. This just becomes part of your life. This becomes part of your habit, and I want people to know that, like, it's freeing. It's freeing, and it's not intimidating. It's not scary, even though you hear all these things on the internet. You have to eat this way, or you have to do this, or the only way to lose weight is this diet, or the only way to put on muscle is doing this. There is science. Don't let me disregard that. There is a
Yeah.
science to the
Yeah.
human body.
Yeah.
There are different things that we need to follow, that we do need to be
Mhm.
aware of. But this, like, I think I did a post a while ago. There is no such thing as bad food. There's no one thing on this earth that causes weight gain. It's our
Mhm.
behaviors that we associate with that food. Again, like I said, to gain a pound of fat, you have to eat the 3,500 calories above your maintenance weight. And um, I people just need to walk away from that and just be like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Wow. Bam. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Now, the real talk question. Do you want me to read out the Blue Jays or the Raptors?
Blue Jays.
Okay. Name one challenging thing you had to overcome in life.
Realizing that not everything's my fault, and that um, I can't please and help everybody, that I can only work on myself, and I can't fix every situation. Um, I've had a lot of things in my life where I felt like it was my fault and I had to fix it. And the world still goes on, even if that one thing happens and it's not my fault. Um, that it's not me. It's not about me. It's a them problem. And I have to I had to learn to realize, I had to learn to accept that. And I had to learn to realize that I am my own person, and I can only do so much for myself.
Mhm.
Um, that I can't help everybody,
Mhm.
and that there are some people out there that just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Now, we're gonna do the donation.
Mhm.
Let's see who Star Scorpio is donating to today. Season 8.
Okay.
The charities that I donate to for season 8 are Claws, Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society, the Fundraiser Warriors, and Make a Wish Foundation. So, by my hands, which one do you want me to pop? The left, the middle, or the right?
The middle.
So many people choose the middle. The question I just asked you,
Mhm.
it hardly gets asked. Like in the last few seasons, it's always the other one, which is the memorable moment of your life. But
Mhm.
yours, I haven't asked that in a while.
Mhm.
The most challenging. Okay. Okay, for season 8, let's see. Star Scorpio will be donating to. I don't know if you're able to see it.
Oh,
Claws,
yay! Yay,
a
I
lady.
love animals. I love donating to animals.
Sweet.
I love them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
oh yeah. So you said something. So I'll be donating to Claus, and you were saying you would like to donate to the
I
same
would.
cause.
I would.
Amazing. Okay,
Yes, I
so
would.
what I will do, I'll give you her information
Mm-hmm.
after her name's Stacy. I'll give you her information. She was actually on my podcast as well. I'll give you her information after. All right, Sarah, this has been a pleasure. I might have to have you on again
Yeah,
future.
I'd
And I
love
was
to.
even thinking that I should go to your studio and do, because I like to do a lot of different things. I might
Yeah,
have to interview in person and show the studio and all that and do a thing.
yeah, you're welcome to come anytime.
Amazing. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Stay happy and healthy.
Bam. All right. Sarah, thank you for coming out today. This is Real Talk with Star Scorpio, and we out.